Good afternoon, Atlanta Braves fans. This is Ken Anderson, and there's been a lot of speculation the last couple of days, and I've put out some stuff. I know that the fan base is antsy, so I thought I'd jump on here real quick and kind of break down the shortstop position as from what I hear. There are really about 8 names that keep getting floated out there, and before we work into the 8 names and how that goes about. A couple things I reminded some people on the phone this morning is Alex is in an enviable position in that the fact that he holds the cards right now. Any team looking at the Braves to try to hold them under pressure, he can always point that we're okay, we can live with that. So let's take starting pitching for example. I know everybody wants a starting pitcher, but the Braves have 7 guys that they can start right now in the rotation they feel comfortable with. So the need for starting pitching is like, okay. And in the bullpen, I do also believe they need to add an arm there. But in reality, by adding 2 of the best closers in baseball back into the bullpen, and what they have in their road, and as far as just the length of pitches, they have a ton of relief pitchers. They can put together a pretty good bullpen. So you can always tell the guys reaching out about the relief pitcher. A relief pitcher, for instance, Pete Fairbanks wants to get a contract for Atlantis. Well, we don't really actually need you at that price because if anything, we can put Ray Lowe or Grant into the bullpen. The Braves have a very fluid pitching situation right now. They have a lot of, as he calls, Swiss Army knives that he can rotate. So that goes to the shortstop position. The same thing. He can look at any team, any player, any free agent, or any team that's willing to trade and say to you, I have a shortstop. Now, Mauricio Devon is my shortstop. It's an upgrade over Nick Allen. He can field, and he can hit better than Nick. And our team on paper is pretty solid. When everybody takes a breath and looks back and looks at everybody's team right now, not what they project him to be, we don't know where these players are going to go. And as you can see from the Yankees and the Mets right now, they're kind of both grasping on what they're going to do. And there's other teams out there. The Braves on paper right now could go into the season and feel like it could be a playoff team. And we all want to win the world championship. We want to get better, and so does Alex. But there is no pressure to expedite everything going forward. So why not take your time? Why does the deal have to be done on December 11th, December 12th? I get that all the time. Who is it? Who is it going to be? Is it going to happen the next 2 hours? Calm down a little bit. Let this thing play out. Alex has the cards right now. It's important for Alex to wait, and I believe that's what he's doing. If you look at the 8 shortstops right now, the number one you hear all the time is Corey Seager. Could Corey Seager benefit Atlanta? Be beneficial to us? Of course he could. Corey Seager is a great player, and he'd be outstanding. But his contract is $31 million a year, and he is signed for 7 years. So it's going to take a lot of prospects to go back. So you look at Corey and you go, okay, how desperate is Texas to move him? Do we have to give up this, give up that? I can tell you right now, Drake Baldwin and Spencer Schwellenbach are not going in a Corey Seager deal because Corey, with his injury and also his age getting up there and the length of the contract, you could get more for that. And somebody threw out today, Bill Shanks, who I think he throws out some wild stuff, talking about it's maybe time to trade Ronald Acuna. So of course does. Of course he's going to listen. If somebody calls him up and listen, but Ronald Acuna's not getting traded. Nobody's going to be willing to give what we would have to take to get Ronald Acuna back under contract for the next 3 years. So shortstop Corey Seager. The equivalent of Corey on the free agent market would be Bo Bichette. Bo would be about the same contract, probably a little less in my opinion, probably around the $27, $28 million a year contract. And you can maybe live with it. His defense is pretty bad. But he brings a great stick. But why rush into that contract either? Now, how that could actually work and drive those numbers down for us is if Toronto were to sign Kyle Tucker. As J.P. Morosi talks about, they got pieces to move there, and they're probably not going to sign both of them. So where Bo goes and all that stuff is going to be interesting as we go forward. Is Bo in the mix? I'm sure it is, but it's going to be at the right contract. So when you put Bo and Seager, you have to put them in the same. When you put Bo and Seager in the mix, you have to put them in the same group because the contract's going to be similar. But with Bo, you don't give up the prospects. You do give up. I think he does have a qualifying offer, so he would give up that pick. But ultimately, you can work out with. So you have to weigh those things if you're Alex. As far as Nico Horner's in the last year of his contract. You would want to extend him at his age and his position, and that'll be coming into negotiations. And Nico would be. Now keep an eye on it. If the Cubs were to say sign Alex Bregman, okay, if Cubs sign Alex Bregman, now the price on Nico kind of goes down a little bit because the Cubs are going to be a little more desperate to get something. And so there's no reason to rush on Nico as well. And it's a possibility. As far as Esquero Tovar, there's no rush on that either. The Rockies are terrible. We can get him at probably any time, and I'm sure they're asking for a moon with his contract. Why? Well, just wait, and we can get Tovar because they're going to get desperate and they're going to have to move him, and so he's definitely a possibility. C.J. Abrams' name's out there. Same thing. C.J. defensively a little weak. Offensively, I think in our ballpark he would rake. He really hits in our ballpark from that left-hand side. So he's a possibility. But that's the Braves Nationals interdivision. That's going to be a lot of moving pieces. Now, look, if you were to get Mackenzie Gore with Abrams, now you're willing probably to give up prospects. So that goes into that account. Brandon Donovan's name's out there. With Brandon, you can get him anytime. Nobody's paying attention. The St. Louis Cardinals have really gutted their payroll. They're down to like $92 million right now. They're going to add, of course, some people. That's even with a Nolan Arenado contract. It looks like the Cardinals are in kind of a rebuild mode per se, and they're looking at whatever. So I would even expect that they may even shop Wilson Contreras here, and you could see him going somewhere, and maybe even to the Mets. Even though the Mets did make a deal today, that makes it look like they may be fixing to take Vientos and move Vientos to first base for Alonso, and Polanco can play third. That's the Mets' problem. That's not our problem. They say that's a them problem. They let the Mets worry about themselves and implode as they always do. The other name you see thrown out there is HSK. Ha-Seong Kim is still a free agent. It's fluid. Where's he going to go? I think he still should have tried to sign it, opt in with the Braves, and try to make an extension, but he chose not to. And as he's finding out, the Yankees are cutting payroll. The Blue Jays have pieces. The Mets are even talking about shipping Lindor right now. And the Phillies have so all these teams who have these shortstops. He's not really in the market. Maybe it's Seattle. He goes to Seattle. Seattle didn't want to sign Polanco for $20 million a year. Maybe they'll spend $16, $17 a year for Ha-Seong Kim. I don't know. We'll see. If he does go to Seattle, now you got another one-year rental out there in J.P. Crawford. J.P. Crawford to me would be the last step effort to put a left-handed bat to go with Dubon, have a next mix or a walk to pick up. So he's still in the mix too. So, there's 8 names right there I just named that anybody could be the shortstop. And as the market moves, where Bregman is, where things go, say Bregman goes to the Cardinals, okay? And the Cardinals are in a full rebuild. Maybe they trade Mason in. I ain't heard Mason any trade talks, but we don't know how the market goes. So what I'm trying to tell Braves fans, sit back, breathe, let Alex work. He's already proved to you. He signed 3 free agents this year, all 3 settled for less money to come here. So people are wanting to come here. Let him work, let him get something done. As I told a friend of mine, I do fully expect something to get done sooner than later. Definitely something by Christmas. But I think our team will be in place pretty quickly. I still lean, as I've told many people, I think it's going to be the relief pitcher. But if Alex wants to go do a starter, move people around, I can see that too. But also he goes shortstop. I think the shortstop where the market is why there's a hold up on it. We hear different things, just like everybody else. And it's all been put out there. And most of that stuff, first of all, comes from other teams. Alex gets, I didn't say anything. Of course he does. Alex is very close to that. So you have to hear things from everybody else. And that's what we're hearing from other teams. This is what's being shot. Braves are in it, whatever. It's a guessing game. And Alex will make the right decision. Everybody be patient. We're going to give a good shortstop, another bat in the lineup. We all believe it'll be a shortstop. So Dubon will have the flexibility to move around the field, which he's great at, and have that bat in there. And the fact of the matter is that we're going to add another relief pitcher, and that may even be Raylo going to the bullpen or Grant going to the bullpen, and we add a starter. So we're going to have a good team. Everybody should be excited about 2026. What you hear on the boards, they seem to be, and they should be. We're going to have a chance. Alex is going to keep making things. And it comes as far as the tax threshold, I shared Scott Coleman's today. It's not really the first one. It's not the second one. They don't want to get to the third one, and he laid it out very well. And I think we still got $30 or $40 million to play with. It's not that we're going to spend the money, but knowing we have it and knowing what we spent already, Alex will make a deal. We'll get something done. Everybody breathe, enjoy the holiday season, and as always, go Braves.